So in this segment, I want to discuss James Cleverly getting cooked a little bit on LBC while they were doing the politicians phoning thing. Um, yeah, it's not great. This is from an ex Tory supporter who um, decided to vote for Labour this time around, and it's not a big surprise why, especially when they give out their reasoning.
It was a vote, in my view, for common sense, because at the end of the day, you've got Liz Truss who crashed our economy, whether you like it or not. That's what happened. And as a net result, we're paying more for stuff now than we did before. We had
interest rates, really, increase under Liz Truss. I think the currency wasn't doing too great either. And in the end, she had to bring in Jeremy Hunt to kind of clean up her mess. So, they really crashed business confidence. Business confidence right now under Reeves is as low as it was under Liz Truss. That's how much it dipped. Like, it dipped very hard under Liz Truss. When it's bad when you become a metric of something.
Boris offering the oven-ready Brexit, which won him the election. But the problem is the oven-ready deal that he said wasn't oven-ready deal. In fact, it was probably not even ready to go in a tray.
He laughs like it didn't cause irreparable damage to this country. He laughs like it didn't cause a ton of damage to Northern Ireland because he lied to the unionists. He told them that it wouldn't impact them when it clearly did. You had ministers go and say, "Oh, look, there's no border here." And then lo and behold, there is a trade border there. So you can laugh and you can snigger at it, but at the end of the day, like, you as the quote conservative and unionist party. Now, I don't care for the union that much, as viewers of the of this channel would know, but as you're the guy who is part of the conservative and unionist party, you've done irreparable damage to the union. So I just don't get it.
As a net result, you ended up with massive economic downfalls that we had. The person who was on before you, James, he would often say that we instigated economic sanctions on ourselves, and to an extent, we did.
There's facts, because we've killed our own exports. That's what's happened here. We've killed our own exports to the EU. And they were our biggest trading partner, and a lot of those countries were in our top 10 single trading partners as well. So what we've done here is incredibly stupid. You're talking £40 billion loss to the economy year on year, consistent issues. It's not a surprise why it wasn't a good idea. And Cleverly was a minister at the time, I believe.
The Conservatives at the last point, when I watched a briefing with Rishi Sunak, stood with a podium that said "Stop the boat." I mean, come on. We're not pandering to the far right of the Conservative Party, but that's what he's afraid of.
It's literally what he did. Sunak did that consistently. Because at the end of the day, I think when you fail on the economics of it, you run towards more populist policies. You run towards the culture war and things like that, because you can't run on the economy. You can't run on the cost of living. So, it makes sense why Sunak did that, I think, in the end. He turned that into an issue, and in the end, he couldn't stop the small boats because he didn't get a deal, because we're out of the Dublin 3 agreement, so, Brexit having an impact there, but also the fact that he didn't set up a processing centre in France, which was the smart thing to do. But what they did was they manufactured these issues, like the asylum backlog, like the channel crossings, the fact that they told people from Afghanistan to make their way to the UK by any means, and then when people did that, they're like, oh my god, what a problem. And you're like, listen, you guys are so... That was one of the most frustrating things that I saw under the Tories anyways. And there's a whole list you can give out, top 5 things or top 10, 20 things that the Tories did. Under at least Boris Johnson's administration, austerity will always be the worst thing, in my opinion. What they did then, probably COVID second. But, this guy getting absolutely smoked here. And these are the things people won't forget in a hurry. The ones that supported Brexit won't forget how they, quote, botched their Brexit deal, whatever nonsense. And the ones who still, the ones who supported Remain won't forget about Brexit either. The people who wanted to buy a house or own a house and have to renew their mortgage, they're not going to forget about the interest rates. I know someone personally who was on the verge of buying a house, and then Liz Truss tanked the economy. That's something that person's never going to forget. And then, Rishi Sunak, less said about him, the better, really. And, you can go for this kind of reimagining, whatever, rebranding of the Tory party that, Kemi Badenoch is trying to do with her New Year speech.
Happy New Year. Like all of you, I am looking forward to a 2025 that is full of hope, security, and prosperity. The Conservative Party is also going through a period of change. This process of renewal will be a long-term project. Things may be bumpy along the way, but the party I now lead is going to do things differently.
It's all vague, vague cliches. It's like
Happy New Year.
It's like a company going through, like a rebrand, effectively. Like there's no substance here at all, absolutely nothing there. And I think these are the three things that the country won't forget. And Labour would be wise to remind people of at least the Liz Truss thing. Just like David Cameron and George Osborne did. Eventually, people will get sick of it. But I think that's the thing to run on. But at the end of the day, Labour have to run the economy competently, and I can't see that happening anytime soon. Not with Reeves and Starmer in charge. But anyways, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Support the channel on Patreon if you can, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.